Experience homelessness at some point in their lives here in Southern California. The numbers, yeah, wait till you hear them. They are staggering. Good Daily, 4:30 starts right now. And welcome to your Tuesday, friends. It's great to see you. You're watching Good Daily here at 4:30. Just to remind you of the date here. It is 10/20/2020. I'm Rita Garcia. We begin with this. A huge economic hardship because of the coronavirus. It has parks and businesses surrounding them, obviously, on hard times. But the good times could be rolling again soon at our local theme parks. Today, the state will unveil guidelines for reopening. And Gigi Graciette is live for us at Magic Mountain with more on this developing story. Gigi, hi.
Good morning, Rita. Good morning, everyone. I've spoken off camera to employees of Magic Mountain, and they tell me they're anxious and some say desperate to get back to work. So they're eagerly awaiting these new guidelines and hoping the parks will be able to meet them so they can reopen to the public as soon as possible. Let's go to the video. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is saying today the state will issue those reopening guidelines for Disneyland Resort and other theme parks in the state. Parks like Walt Disney World in Florida and Hong Kong Disneyland have already reopened with masks and social distancing the norm. Less than 2 weeks ago, the governor surprised and angered many people when he said the state was in no hurry in putting out new guidelines to allow parks to reopen. Theme parks like Disney were quick to respond, citing their safety measures already in place at their parks. Newsom reportedly was going to send a team of investigators to Florida to see firsthand how the park was operating. Meanwhile, theme parks like Six Flags Magic Mountain here in Valencia say they too are ready to get back to business. On their web page, Magic Mountain says their reopening plan was developed in coordination with expert scientists and includes requiring all guests and employees to wear masks with few exceptions, separating people on rides by leaving some seats and rows empty, and enforcing social distancing in lines, along with limiting the number of people at the park. And of course, when guests arrive here, they'll also be subjected to a non-invasive temperature check. Those new guidelines set to be released later this morning. And of course, as soon as they're out, we'll bring them to you right here on Fox 11. Reporting live this morning in Valencia, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you. And here are some stories happening while you were sleeping. A just released UCLA report reveals nearly 270,000 kindergarten through 12th grade students in California experienced homelessness during 2018-2019 school year. The report says the number of students experiencing homelessness in the state of California has increased by nearly 50% in the past decade. And the authors say because of the economic crisis caused by COVID-19, the number of homeless students right now is probably much higher. One person is killed and another badly hurt when a car slams into a tree in Fullerton. The crash happened about 7:30 Monday night in the area of West Hill and South Euclid. The driver was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The passenger died at the scene. Police do not believe any other cars were involved, and the investigation continues. Meantime, here's an update for you. We showed you this yesterday. This woman now behind bars today, arrested in the fatal stabbing of a Metro employee at the 7th Street train station in downtown LA. 25-year-old Irma Monroy was booked for murder. Last Friday, detectives say she got into a fight with an employee, which then led to a stabbing. The Metro worker hasn't been identified. Bail is set at $2 million. 4:33 right now. Let's get a check of the weather with Samara. We're all looking forward to that rain, possibility of rain, and I'm liking the cooler temps, right?
Yes. If you're not seeing the rain eventually, at least you are feeling the temperatures coming down, and we will eventually see temperatures about 5 to 10 degrees below what's normal. And the coolest day of the week, it does appear to be on Sunday, thanks to a trough that's going to be moving in. Wake up temperatures for folks that have to be out the door this morning. Maybe you do grab that light sweater, that light jacket, because we're looking at temperatures falling to about 54 degrees at Simi Valley at this early hour. We are seeing the onshore push, and it's bringing about the low-level clouds. Long Beach under our overcast skies at 64 degrees, and maybe also a light jacket for areas of Corona to Riverside, where temperatures are hovering, again, the lower side of the 60s. 59 degrees in San Bernardino currently, and there's also patches of fog out there as well. Chino reporting about a half a mile of visibility. So give yourself that extra time needed leaving the house this morning, maybe you make that cup of coffee a little extra early and help you get out the door. Temperatures by the afternoon, comfortable, pleasant, really nice day on tap. And we're looking at valley areas, the Inland Empire, 80s and at best 90s. But we may be doing away with 90s for those interior spots pretty much through the rest of the week. 80s and 70s is what we're focused on. Rita?
Sounds good, Samara. Thank you. It's 4:35 and voting in California is already underway, and there are several propositions to consider. We are highlighting all of them for you leading up to Election Day, which is what now, 14 days away. Well, this morning, Coco McAvoy explains Proposition 25, which would eliminate the cash bail system.
On the ballot this year, Proposition 25. It would make California the first state to end the cash bail system. It would uphold a bill passed by California lawmakers to use a computer algorithm instead. Sam Lewis from the Anti-Recidivism Coalition is in support.
We need to stand behind our elected officials who've stepped up to end a predatory bail system that literally preys on poor people that are predominantly black and brown.
The proposition is going to a vote because the bail bonds industry gathered enough signatures to challenge the 2018 law. Former California State Assemblyman Mike Gatto is part of the opposition to Prop 25.
We have to remember what Prop 25 is. This is a proposal to replace the bail system, which has existed more or less for 1,400 years, and replace it with an algorithm. And for me, that's a little bit too, Brave New World or Minority Report, pick your scary movie.
Prop 25 supporters say the cash bail system keeps poor people and minorities in jail because they can't afford to bail out like the wealthy.
This takes a huge chunk of systemic racism, rips it out and throws it away.
The opposition to Prop 25 is split between the bail industry and civil rights organizations. They argue algorithms are not the solution and will still keep people of color behind bars at disproportionate rates.
And my concern is if Prop 25 passes, we'll be right back here in 5 years trying to reform the reforms.
Another point of contention is the financial cost. Supporters say it will lead to decreased county jail costs, while the opposition says it will cost taxpayers millions of dollars to enact a new computer algorithm system in every county.
Because I pay taxes, I'm willing to pay those extra taxes to make sure that poor people that can barely scrape together $500 to pay an emergency bill won't be stuck in jail and lose their houses.
What is the cost to the victim? What is the cost to the person who suffered because that algorithm made a mistake?
While voting is underway for the presidential election, voters will be deciding on this historic Proposition 2. I'm Coco McAvoy, Fox 11 News.
Okay, so here are some things that are happening later today that you need to know about. A final hearing on the deadly Conception boat fire. The NTSB will vote on the fire's probable cause and any recommendations that could prevent further disasters. 34 people were killed when the scuba dive boat caught fire in September of 2019. Well, in a new report released last month, cause was undetermined, but likely ignition point were phones and electronics plugged into outlets. And do you remember this? The husband of DA Jackie Lacey pulling a gun on Black Lives Matter protesters outside the couple's home back in March. Well, later today, BLM will announce a lawsuit against the Laceys over the incident. The lawsuit alleges negligence, infliction of emotional distress, assault, and battery. Also today, civil rights leaders will call for the release of body camera footage from a deadly deputy-involved shooting in Willowbrook. This home security video shows the moments leading up to Fred Williams' death last Friday. The deputy who fatally shot him was assigned to the Century Station. Body-worn cameras were issued to deputies at the station back on October the 1st. All right, let's talk some sports here because don't know if you noticed, but there was a lot of football on Monday night, right? It was Monday after all, including last Thursday's game postponed because of some COVID issues. So let's begin with the battle of the quarterbacks. We'll start here. Kansas City's Patrick Mahomes versus Buffalo's Josh Allen, which was right here on Fox 11. And now to this, 14 days to go until Election Day. When we come back, I'll introduce you to a group of women putting their own unique twist, on getting the votes out. Plus, medical experts say it is the best way to prevent a twindemic this fall and winter. We'll tell you where you can get flu shots for free. It's happening right after the break this morning at 4:40. As we take you to break, here's a pretty picture of Santa Monica. Enjoy the refreshing temperatures right now. Samana's been promising. And then remember that precipitation that might be in sight. When we come back, we'll talk to her more about the timing of all the things. You know what we call this, right? Tuesday. Welcome to it, everybody. Good morning. If you're just opening up your eyes, look at that's what's in store right outside your window here at 443. In fact, let's bring Samada in because I'm enjoying the refreshing temps. You called it, Samada. You said it would move in late yesterday, and I felt the temperatures drop. It was nice.
Yeah, and if you like the cooler temperatures, Rita, we're going to continue to see those temperatures fall. What a great shot of Mount Wilson at this early hour. We did see some of the marine layer clouds just kind of hovering up over the city. So waking up this morning, overcast, guys, and even some patches of fog, thanks again to that marine influence. Some locations are reporting really low visibility. If you're driving along through areas of Ontario as well as Chino, you want to just, again, a reminder to be careful on your drive this morning. We're checking in on our October highs. If you recall, it was a really hot start at 101 degrees, and slowly we did see those numbers kind of doing a balancing act between the 90s and a little refreshing, a little bit of a break the second part of the week, and last week it was definitely more above average temperatures. What's in store for us this week? We're finally seeing at least the nice cooling trend, 70s for pretty much all the way through the week. It's all courtesy due to a trough of low pressure that will be moving in and give us a slight opportunity of some precipitation. Unfortunately, if we go back and October 1st, since October 1st, we haven't seen any rain on average. We should have at least gotten a little over 0.6 of an inch of rain towards the end of October. We are watching those below average amounts, 0.35 of an inch. We are at a deficit. So we desperately need any form of rain, whether it be a little or 1/10 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. We'll take what we can get. Take a look at our futurecast area of low pressure. That trough is going to sag a little further south. And as we move ahead, we'll see the clouds slowly start to push in. Friday morning is a possibility as well. Maybe some light drizzle. So make sure you put that on your calendar as well. Saturday, another repeat, possibly of Friday, and even the chance exists for some precipitation leading into Sunday. You can see a little bit of green again on that map moving in through Saturday and Sunday, still in existence. And then we move forward to Monday and Tuesday. We may be in store for another Santa Ana wind event. It'll be dry. We'll see those temperatures bumping up again, but still, it's a ways out. But what's on the radar right now is the chance of rain followed by a windy event. If you're traveling today across the nation, New York, 69 degrees with a chance of showers. You can see that line of activity pushing towards the east and down towards Atlanta. Very nice 79 degrees. Believe it or not, snowfall continues over portions of the high plains. Minnesota, they're actually under a winter weather advisory. Seattle, pretty decent weather conditions today. Cooler at 55 degrees. A little chance of showers moving through the weekend. Of course, for us along the west, we are cooler than normal. Eventually, we are dry for the next couple of days before that chance comes in. Again, the latter part of this week and into the weekend. 73 degrees for the coastline. Temperatures dropping to 60s. Inland spots 79, dropping to 70. Sunday does appear to be our coolest day. And valley communities, the Inland Empire, not seeing any 90s. We're looking at a whole lot of 80s and 70s finally. Definitely refreshing numbers. And yes, we do, and we're crossing our fingers for some of that rain. Back to you.
Yeah, Samada, looks good. Flirting with the 70s. It's been a while since we've done that. Looking forward to it. And we'll enjoy it while it lasts because you said the Santa Anas are going to kick up later on. Okay, lots of stories coming up here on Good Day LA. In fact, we got my man, Tony McEwing, in the newsroom with a preview. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Rita. And guess what? Apparently there are a record number of sharks off the Southern California coast. In fact, instead of migrating, they're sort of just sticking around. I'll tell you why. Plus, if you work for Target, we have some good news for you this morning. You're getting another bonus, and it all has to do with the coronavirus. Yeah, good news and the coronavirus. Two things that don't seem to go together. We'll tell you why the company is stepping it up to its employees coming up in the next hour. Good Day LA.
And we'll see you then, Tony. Thank you. And speaking of going to work, right? So many people are working from home right now. Not everyone, though, is loving it. Are you? We're going to explain why folks are not so much liking it right after the break. Plus, is travel making a comeback? The new numbers that suggest Americans are returning to the friendly skies. We've got them for you when we return. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, it's 4:57 and still to come. It is time to do the bend and snap. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh. Come on, you're never going to get the grades to qualify for one of those spots. You're not smart enough, sweetie.
Wait, am I on glue, or did we not get into the same law school, Warner?
We yeah.
You remember? That's the gesture made famous by Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. Now, 19 years later, the cast is returning for a great cause. We'll tell you how you can watch. Tony and Roxy are coming up next. See you.
There's something more valuable with your time.
Today, Governor Gavin Newsom set to issue new guidelines so theme parks in California can finally reopen. We're live with that story.
A huge fire breaks out overnight in San Bernardino. Details on the fight to save the building.
And Clayton Kershaw prepares to take the mound tonight in Game 1 of the World Series. The team coming off a grueling 7-game division series. The question is, will they have the energy to fight for the championship? Good Day LA at 5 o'clock begins right now. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Day LA at 5 o'clock. I'm Tony McEwing. It's great to see you this morning. Really appreciate you joining us. Hey.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
To see you, Tony. Good morning, everybody. I'm Roxy Carpadian. We'll get you up to speed on everything. But first, let's begin with this. We do have some breaking news. Overnight, a vacant commercial building goes up in flames in San Bernardino. The 2-alarm fire at 11th and Harris Street started around 12:40 this morning. The building was engulfed in flames. By the time firefighters arrived, the roof collapsed soon after, and that forced firefighters to safely fight that fire from the perimeter. There's no information right now as to how this fire started.
All right, it's a minute after 5. Seems like the perfect time to me to get you up to speed on the weather and what you can expect for the rest of the day. Samada is over at the weather board with that. Hey, Samada.
Good morning. Hey there. Good morning, Roxy. Good morning, Tony. On your drive to work this morning, you guys, did you run into any fog? Were you okay?
No, but I cranked up the heat. I was cold.
Heck yeah,
It is a little cold.
Yeah,
out
right?
there, yeah.
This is a Tony temperature. I mean, he likes it in the 60s at this early hour. But Roxy
Listen,
and I,
60s were a great decade.
we're cold. It was. You're going to bring back your bell bottoms again? Is that what we're talking about?
And the afro.
66 degrees platforms. And you could see the marine layer clouds really coming in. Overcast skies, especially out towards areas of Huntington Beach. The patches of fog that I'm talking about, areas of Chino and Ontario, where visibility down to about a half a mile. So another reminder to be careful on your drive and that extra time leaving the house. So important to get you where you need to go safely. And we're going to slowly see those numbers coming down from this weekend. Look at that, 79 degrees, not far from what's average. A beautiful day on tap in Southern California. Sunrise at 7:03 this morning. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Samada. Appreciate it. A major announcement is just hours away today. The state is going to unveil its guidelines for reopening California theme parks.
I know a lot of you have been waiting patiently, including Tony here.
Me.
That's where Gigi is, your favorite spot, Magic Mountain this morning with more on the developing story. Hey, Gigi.
Good morning, I'm Roxy and Tony. Good morning, everyone. I was actually thinking about Tony and his love for roller coasters. Hopefully, he'll soon be able to ride them again here at Magic Mountain in Valencia. This, if the governor does announce finally those reopening plans for theme parks, as he's expected to do today. Now, this has been a long time in the making, and just a couple of weeks ago, the governor angered and surprised a lot of people when he said that he was in no hurry in putting out guidelines to allow the parks to reopen. Theme parks like Walt Disney World in Florida and Hong Kong Disneyland have already opened with masks and social distancing the norm now. And hopefully those plans will be announced today. The parks say they are ready. Newsom reportedly was going to send a team of investigators to Florida to see firsthand how the parks there were operating. Meanwhile, theme parks like Six Flags Magic Mountain here in Valencia say they are ready to reopen. On their webpage, Magic Mountain says their reopening plan was developed in coordination with expert epidemiologists and includes requiring all guests and employees to wear masks, with a few exceptions, of course, separating people on rides by leaving some of the seats and rows empty, and enforcing social distancing in lines, along with limiting the number of people at the park. And once you arrive here, they say you will be subjected to a non-invasive temperature check. Now everyone is just waiting. And remember, this affects so many people. We're talking about thousands of employees at theme parks here in California, and also the surrounding businesses like hotels and restaurants that depend on the tourism that these parks generate. Reporting live in Valencia, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
It is a very big deal. All right, Gigi, thanks so much. We'll see what happens.
Here are some of the other stories happening while you were sleeping. One person is killed, another badly hurt when a car slams into a tree in Fullerton. That crash happened around 7:30 last night in the area of West Hill and South Euclid. The driver was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The passenger unfortunately died there at the scene. Police do not believe any other cars were involved. This investigation is ongoing.
And a just-released UCLA report reveals nearly 270,000 kindergartners through 12th grade students in California experienced homelessness during the 2018-2019 school year. The report says the number of homeless students in California has increased by nearly 50% in the past decade. And the authors say because of the economic crisis caused by COVID-19, the number of homeless students right now is actually probably higher.
We do have another COVID warning to LA County's younger residents this morning. Public Health Director Dr. Barbara Ferrer said that people between 18 and 49 now count for 58% of all new virus cases in LA County. You see, back in mid-March, people ages 18 to 29 represented about 5% of COVID patients that were hospitalized. Well, now that's doubled to 10%. Ferrer said gatherings, both small and large, continue to be major contributors to spreading the virus.
6 minutes after 5 right now.
Series.
Is that good?
I think that's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Game 1 of the World Series is tonight.
A lot of numbers.
Dodgers take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Keep it right here on Channel 11. 3 o'clock, Fox 11 News, followed by 4 p.m. World Series pregame, and then 5 p.m. Game 1. Go Dodgers. Live picture right there for you. You hear the music, you see that empty stadium, and you know it's time to play ball.
Let me say that I've been told that his numbers are a mixed bag.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, good. All right.
But, you know, you put a positive spin on it, so that's good.
I just figured Clayton Kershaw, he does well. Go with that. Samana, let's talk about the weather.
Look at that field, guys. Temperature, is this an enclosed stadium? Do you know, does it have a retractable roof? Anybody know that?
Yeah,
it is retractable.
It is.
Good. Okay,
Yes.
so weather conditions really not a big concern. But if you are curious, temperatures right now in Arlington, Texas, right around mid-60s, calm winds, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures by game time right around mid-80s. It's a good day to practice for those Go Dodgers baseball players. Hey, current wind conditions, speaking of winds, we are watching, and it's very calm. At best, very light winds across portions of Oxnard, but you can see the wind arrows, and it's coming on shore. It's helping to push in the cloud layer, so we're waking up overcast conditions and even patches of fog. Air quality, a mixed bag. We see Huntington Beach at pretty good air quality, mixed in with some moderate and unhealthy for sensitive groups today. Send back over to you.
Thank you, Samana. 5:12 coming up. Can you hear me now? Why NASA is putting a cell phone network on the moon.
Okay, maybe that's a good place for it. And there is a record number of sharks. Yes, sharks swimming off the coast of Southern California.
Like
we need
that.
the Jaws music.
Like that.
Researchers, there it is, sort of. Why researchers are saying they might never leave when we come back.